Hello guys, this is SoapMactavish Plus and this video is going to be on the next gen consoles. The 8th generation of games consoles. There's 3 big consoles in this generation, well 2 big consoles actually, and one pathetic joke of a console. We got 3 consoles to go through and I'm gonna review all of them here in 4 different categories. The categories are graphics, games, online service and controllers. Okay, let's meet the contestants. From Microsoft we have the Xbox One. From Sony we have the PlayStation 4. And from Nintendo we have this piece of shit. Okay, let's move on to the first category and the most important one, the graphics. First we'll start with the Wii U. Okay, the Wii U, ha ha ha. This piece of shit. Guys, it's for fucking children. This thing's a fucking kid's toy. Have you seen the graphics on this shit? It's all fucking cartoons and shit. There are games coming out on the fucking Wii U that have 2D graphics still. What the fuck? This is the 8th generation and you're still trying to pass 2D shit as an actual fucking game. The Wii U's graphics are fucking pathetic. Even though they have some good games on the Wii U, like Call of Duty Ghosts, that shit has such sweet graphics, it doesn't look any better than the 360 and PS3. In fact, the Wii U's graphics are so pathetic, EA refused to put Battlefield 4 on it because the graphics wouldn't work properly. Even the 360 and PS3 got those games, so that proves the Wii U is worse than 7th gen consoles for graphics. Basically the Wii U is only for pussy babies who want to play pussy baby games, like Super Mario and fucking Pikmin. Ha! That shit is mad gay! You Nintendo fags got screwed this generation. Okay, now let's move on to the real consoles. You might think the Xbox One is going to be good for graphics because of how good the 360 was, but you'd be wrong. That shit can't even handle proper 1080p graphics, so they had to scale down the graphics for COD and Battlefield. Only the PS4 and the PC can handle those 2 games, but PC is for fucking nerds who want to play gay nerd shit, like Minecraft, StarCraft and World of Warcraft. Have you noticed all games that have craft at the end fucking suck? Anyway, fuck the PC, that shit's for faggots, we're talking about consoles here. Okay, for graphics, the Wii U gets a negative 10 out of 10, since it can't even handle current gen games a year after it came out. The one gets a negative 1 out of 10, since it can handle them, but it makes them look like shit. The PS4 gets 10 out of 10 for graphics, since it's the only console that can handle next-gen graphics properly. Okay, now let's move on to the games. For the Wii U there is a fucking pathetic selection of games, even though it has been out the longest. There is gay kitty shit like Mario, Sonic, Zelda and Pikmin, all games that fucking suck. There is one game on the Wii U that is actually good, and that is Call of Duty Ghosts, but everything else got that, and Wii U didn't even get Battlefield. For the Xbox One and PS4, shit is pretty close. They both have the 2 most important games, COD and Battlefield, but each console has a few awesome games the other doesn't. Xbox has Rise, Son of Rome, which is the only game that uses swords and shit I have ever seen that actually looks fucking decent. It's like fucking medieval shit with Romans and knights and shit like that, but it's actually really good and realistic looking, so I definitely want to play that shit. The one also has Forza 5, which is a fucking beast racing game, and Halo 5 next year, which is an okay shooting game. On the PS4 side, there is slightly worse games. There's Uncharted, which is probably the best exclusive for the PS4 now, and then there's like fucking Infamous, but that shit is pretty gay. It's about this fucking faggot who can shoot lightning out of his hands or something. It looks really gay, so I wouldn't play it. For games, this is what I give each console. The Wii U gets a negative 5 out of 10, and that is only 5 and not 10, because it has COD which slightly saves it. The PS4 gets a 6 out of 10, because although it's got all the important games, the exclusives are still pretty shit at least for now. I give the Xbox One an 8 out of 10, because it's got the best exclusives, and of course the game of the year, Call of Duty, motherfucking Ghosts. Okay, now we move on to online services. Surprise your fucking prize, the Wii U fucking fails in this category too. It still has the same fucking problem that all Nintendo consoles have. It uses fucking friend codes instead of accounts. This makes communicating with people online awkward as fuck, because you can't find them easily. Also, the Wii U is missing shit tons of online features that all the other consoles have had since the 7th generation. The Xbox One is basically going to be like Xbox, live on the 360, but probably with a few new features, still pretty much the same though. Xbox Live was by far the best online service last generation, so that is actually okay. Sony is using an upgraded version on PSN, only they are adding all the shit that Xbox Live had, like party chat that was missing from PSN, so that should be okay too. Also, you are going to have to pay for PSN now, which is good, because that means there will be less hacking faggots playing on the PlayStation, since if they get banned, they will have to pay to make a new account. I give the Wii U a -9 out of 10, and that's only not -10, because I can at least still play COD against random faggots without needing a friend code. The other two get 9 out of 10 each, because they both seem pretty awesome, although they're not really any better than Xbox Live was last generation. Finally, we move on to the controllers. On Xbox we have, well, basically the 360 controller, but with a center button on the top now. I can't really see any other difference here, but apparently the triggers vibrate or some shit when you press them. That doesn't seem like a big deal though. For the PS4 controller, it's basically a PS3 controller with a touchpad in the middle. I can see that shit being pretty useful in some games, like for sliding through a list of weapons in a game while you're still using the sticks to run. I think that's a pretty nice feature. Now we move on to the Wii U gamepad, and believe me, I've saved the worst for last. Okay, here it is. 3 words. What the fuck? There's a fucking TV screen on the fucking controller. Are you fucking mine, Nintendo? Okay guys, I'm guessing this is how the Wii U controller was made. The faggot who owns Nintendo was throwing a fucking fit when he realized how shitty his console was, and picked up the Wii and threw it across his room. The Wii got impaled on the corner of his plasma screen, and the plasma screen was sticking out the middle of his console. Then Miyamoto or whatever that faggot is called realized that putting a TV inside the controller would be a good idea. I'm pretty sure Nintendo just tried to come up with the weirdest fucking controllers ever, and since the Wii actually sold, they thought it would work for the Wii U as well, only this time it failed. It's just like that Mexican guy on the YouTube video said. The Wii controller looks like a fucking dildo, and the Wii U controller has a fucking TV inside of it. The point of this TV inside the controller is so you can use it instead of a TV screen, but really? When is that pathetic TV controller going to be bigger and better than your actual TV? Exactly, never. If you're some poor fucking bitch who only owns a 10-inch standard definition TV and has to suck dicks for a living, this might be a useful feature for you, but otherwise it's fucking useless. I give the Xbox One controller a 7 out of 10, because although it's good, it's lazy as fuck, since it's basically just the 360 controller. I give the PS4 controller a 9 out of 10, since they actually tried something different and successfully came up with a good new feature. I give the Wii U controller a -10 out of 10, because it's fucking retarded and looks hard as fuck to use too. Okay, here are the final scores. Overall, I'd go with a PS4 personally, since it is the only console where you can play Call of Duty Ghosts with a proper graphics, and it has a pretty decent controller too. The Xbox One is also a decent console, but I'd only choose it if you really want those exclusive games, or if you actually give a shit about watching TV on your Xbox. Personally, I think that's a fucking retarded feature, because unless you're some poor little bitch, you already have all the best fucking channels on your TV anyway. Finally there's the Wii U. This thing is a fucking joke. Buy this console if you're a little pussy baby who is too scared to play real men's games like Call of Duty, Battlefield and Rise, and you want to play pussy baby shit like Mario, Pokemon and Pikmin. If you go to my school and admit to playing the Wii U, prepare to be kicked in the fucking balls repeatedly though, because I'll be doing the games industry a fucking favor by making sure that shit like you never has kids to pass your retardedness down to. Not that it'd be fucking likely that faggots like that would have kids anyway, but you know what they say. Better safe than sorry.